Hey, what's up, guys? I wanted to share a little bit about this time of my life that goes back to 2016 and 2017 and in the early parts of 2018. And what happened is in the last part of 2016, there was a fire at my shop. I used to make surfboards, and all of the boards that I had, all my tools, everything in the shop was burnt, gone. And it was really frustrating to work so hard. I did that for 12 years and just to be, I don't know what I was going to do. Well, thankfully at that time it was pretty easy to get involved with Uber. And one of the things that I did is I realized that I was meeting so many unique people from so many diverse backgrounds and, ethnicities. And I really felt a connection with more people than I'd ever felt before. And obviously, there were people who were not so nice and I didn't interact with them. But the best part about that job is that within 20 minutes, they're out of your car. So good, bad, or ugly, you're on to the next one within 20 minutes to an hour. I mean, that's absolute tops. So I did not have a creative outlet during this period. And I wanted, what is this thing doing? And I wanted to uh, capture some of these moments of time with these people. And I felt like the camera was the best way to do this. And I was really inspired by Vivian Mayer, who was a nanny in Chicago and New York during the 40s to the 60s and took a lot of photos, but never published or sent any photographs in. She was an incredible photographer. And how her photos became uncovered was that she had passed away and left all of her negatives, photographs in a trunk for which this guy bought at an auction. And as he started to go through this treasure trove of great imagery, he was really profoundly affected by this. And just the fact that she never shared anything. And this is, obviously way before social media and posting every little thought and, whatever that you're going to come up with. So another inspiration of mine was Humans of New York. And I felt it was really cool that you could connect visually with the Humans of New York photographer. But I felt like some of the stories that were shared were, I don't know, just a little much. But I liked the concept of it. So I kind of did my own play on it where I talked about just how cool this person was or, just like little things that weren't ultra personal. And I think that's one of the things that I learned is that I'm almost like a hairstylist or a barber in that sense, where people get in the car and they might dish on me things that they would never have said to one of their loved ones or relationship, anybody that they deal with on a regular basis. And it kind of that was kind of the spark for me to do this. And I had a lot of resignation about photographing people because I felt like they would say no because they're like, no, you're invading my privacy. But I'd say 90% of the people said yes because they felt like maybe they could be famous. I'm not really sure. But the hard part was sharing the information like Humans of New York. I didn't want to go down that route, like I just said. But at the same time, I wanted to appeal to the human nature of everybody. So what I ended up doing was just taking photos and I kind of mix this in with some B-roll. So I have these 15 photos here that I'd like to share, and we'll walk through them, and I'll talk a little bit about each one of them briefly. So here we have a night photo in North Park, and I almost split my head open to get this photo, but I really liked how the image was framed, like the lights, and I try to get these light trail photos, and I'm not saying that these are award-winning photographs by any stretch of the imagination, but I just really enjoyed the experimentation, getting my camera out at night. It's a little bit of a challenge to see what's going to come out. So this second one is this. This is where I used to surf, and I lived in Cardiff. This was our parking lot where we'd always meet up and go check the waves. And one afternoon, I pulled in there, and I met this beauty, and she just is obviously a real like gem in front of the camera. So I felt like that was a good one, and I picked this girl up and her friend, and I happen to actually know her friend. This was in Cardiff, right at the office there, and she was just loved being in front of the camera. As you know, some people aren't as willing, or they want a little more direction. Some people, like these first two photos, these women just they love it, and they're naturals in front of it. As is this gentleman. I don't remember much about this guy, but I definitely remember when he got in my car. I took one look at him in the rearview mirror and was like, this kid is like pretty fly for a white guy. And he was super nice. You would think that somebody who's like this might be a little, I don't, standoffish, if you will, but he's totally a nice guy. And I was just like, at the end of the ride, this was at Old Town, San Diego, right at the Old Town train station. And I was like, hey man, can I get a photo? I was like hoping to God he would let me do it. And he's like, yeah, sure. And obviously he's just a natural in front of the camera. So I was just really appreciative of that. And here we have this is up in LA. I would sometimes get rides up there, and I also would just go up there because I'd get, not that I dislike San Diego or anything, but I really like the level of energy that LA has to offer, and all the cool restaurants, and it's just a great place to get lost, if you will. And that was the beauty of it, because I was always basically lost and driving on GPS, but that's what Uber offers, is GPS driving. So it's pretty cool. So the next one is this desert scene that I went to, and this is one of the photos that I like, that I was found this image or this scene and was just like, oh my God, stop traffic. But I have to tell you that I had been driving for the Coachella events, the 2 weekend thing. And I took these car full of guys out to this, this was right when Airbnb started. So I took them out to this Airbnb way out in the desert. I don't know why in the world you would want to go to Coachella and be in this far in the desert. It was almost to Joshua Tree, and I was just so irritated because it was so remote, and it just like way out of the ordinary of like just a couple minute rides here and there. And then I dropped them off, and I just stopped to smell the roses, if you will, and I saw this photograph, and I'm not gonna lie, the JPEG of it is how I messed up, because I can't quite get that yellow out of it. But that's actually a night sky, and that is upper level winds shearing the cloud tops, and the light source from that is the Los Angeles basin. So it's kind of an industrial night landscape. It's kind of interesting. And that leads us into this one, which is another night shot. And this is from the Evan Jones Parkade in downtown San Diego. And I just really like driving in the gas lamp. Not too late, because I learned too late. It's like the drunk people are just way too much. So I kind of tried to stay out to like 10 or 11. I mean, sometimes I would, but it's just a lot to handle sometimes driving downtown San Diego. But I did like San Diego for the beauty and just all the people that come here from all over the country and really the world, just to see how beautiful California and San Diego are. So I feel like this photo does really embody that. And one of the common questions that people ask me is, have you ever met anybody famous? And this is Adam from Survivor. And I think I would say that that is probably the most famous person that's gotten in my car, and he was a super nice guy, and he obliged to take a photo before he got on to a plane. So, like I said, there's a lot of debauchery on these, on the weekends and stuff. There's a lot going on, especially September. There's bachelorette parties, there's bachelor parties. It's quite a bit to handle at times. And as you can see here in this photo, these girls are having quite a good time. And like one of the things that I try to do is to not be confrontational with people and just let them, be themselves in the rides. And I think that these girls were definitely being themselves, especially the one that's licking that, whatever that is. So the next photo is from the Del Mar Fairgrounds, and like the light trails that I was talking about earlier. I really liked how the lights came out in this one. Um, just the beauty of the fair and just how many people come here. It's really truly incredible. So this photo, these kids I picked up in Rancho Santa Fe and took them to another spot in Del Mar. They were really, really funny kids, and they were probably, not gonna lie, drinking at the time. But I think I fit like six of them in the car, and I actually have gotten a ticket for this, but it got dismissed. So it's just like that's a whole nother can of worms. But these kids, I don't know why. I just like, hey, just jump on top of my car and let's take a photo. And this actually did mess up my car quite a bit, but I think it's a pretty good scrapbooky kind of photo for good memories. So this photo I really like because of the just how nice the composition is and how friendly this girl was. I just remember having so many conversations with people that I was a little bit, I would say, nervous when they got in the car, but they did a really good job of calming my nerves. And I guess as a response, I would try to do my best to make them feel at ease. And I'm sure there are people that I did make feel uncomfortable, but you can't win them all. So this is just an example of that. And these guys, I asked them to try to do like a hip hop music video kind of photograph, and I honestly don't remember that much about them, but I do remember getting the shot. I think I might have taken two or three photos of this, and this is the one that stood out to me. And these girls were really nice, and definitely wouldn't have thought that they would have been so welcoming to a strange white guy Uber driver. Like I fit a stereotype of a serial killer probably to some people, and I'm sure some people would have been really on guard, but I really appreciate how kind and nice they were to let me take a photo, and I really appreciated being in their presence. And the last photo to end it is a nice sunset shot. This is in Pacific Beach. Yeah, it was Pacific Beach. I wasn't sure if it was Crown Point, but it was definitely facing west. And one of the things that I'd see is these sunsets, and I'm like, stop the traffic, like get out of the car, and it just makes you want to take a photo. And I've got, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 of these sunset photos that I just was just really appreciative of all these memories to do that. And unfortunately, it actually led to I got into some trouble from doing it, and it was from transporting drugs. I met some people, and things went south, and I transported drugs, so I did a little bit of time for that. But the experiences were pretty good up until that point. So yeah, just I really tried to the aesthetic with these was I wanted them to be like Polaroids, and you can see how it's got the white border, and that's kind of the look I was going for. And I didn't really want to make it look like film, because my last project was making surfboards, and I had been using like Instagram filters. I think I was using Insta size filters a lot, and I really liked how the photos looked, but I was trying to go for real, and I wanted to depict these people in a real way where you're not like, oh, that's overly baked or overly photoshopped. And it was just a really cool thing. So hopefully you guys like this, and let me know in the comments below if you want to subscribe or drop me a like or whatever. Tell me I'm an idiot, I don't care. But I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.